probably a lot from the beginning. Oh no, wait, we have to.
Oh, we can put it on after, right?
Yeah, it'll make an MP4
I
afterwards.
didn't think about that. Wait, did you already hit record?
Yeah.
Oh, so we're going.
We're going.
Let me just down half of this core milk quick.
It's core milk. Yeah, we gotta go with that core milk.
Oh no, it's core power. Fuck.
Well, there goes the sponsorship deal. Fuck.
Just bleep it out. Post that. I mean, everyone's gonna hear that.
Oh yeah, for sure. Alright, rule number 1, no Rubik's Cube solving on the podcast.
Unless it's a professional.
Whoa, okay. I'm an amateur, yeah.
Yeah, no, you've never been to a competition. You can't speak.
I don't have a... Dude, you have to make an account, right?
No, you don't. You kind of just like, I want to go. Sign up for it, go, and they make you stuff.
Interesting. So, this is my new roommate, Connor.
Wait, are you my roommate?
Yeah, I'm actually new. I just moved in. Interesting situation. We'll get to it another time. But, recent UFC fight, man. McGregor-Cerrone.
Dude, McGregor just like, he can't be stopped.
He fed him. He fucking fed him, dude.
So the best part about that is the 40-second knockout. There's only 2 ways that McGregor can go now.
Mm-hmm.
He can either fight Khabib for the lightweight title, or fight Masvidal next for the BMF title.
Who do you think is more likely to actually accept that, though? Because I know one of them doesn't want to do a repeat.
It doesn't really matter if Khabib wants to do a repeat or not, because it's most likely going to happen. The issue is...
Who decides that?
The matchmakers and Dana.
Oh, okay.
I mean, McGregor has...
Dana, the god of UFC.
McGregor has a decent amount of say.
Yeah.
But no, he has to... the issue is right now is Khabib has a fight set in April with Tony Ferguson. Except
That's
Ferguson...
gonna be a good fight.
Yeah, but Ferguson and Khabib has been made 4 or 5 times, and every time it's fallen through because of injury.
Really?
Like, I'm pretty sure it was either the last time or the second to last time, but they were doing like press conferences and media, and Ferguson just tripped over a cable, and
That's how he got injured. Really?
Yeah,
At
yeah.
a fucking press conference. Press
Well,
conference
no, I
for
don't-
the fight?
not the press conference, but like media day when he's doing like the media scrum, he
Oh, okay.
tripped over a wire and injured himself.
Fucking wow.
It's hilarious that they can go in and they can beat the living hell out of each other
Motherfucking wires, man.
for like 25 minutes, but a wire can take them out of the fight.
Listen, I mean, that's life, man. Sometimes you can fall off like a 5-foot barrel and crack your neck in the right way and just die right there. Like, I genuinely think I am most afraid to go out like that. It's just something fucking stupid.
Like a barrel?
Yeah, like a barrel or like a vending machine. 4 people a year get killed by vending machines. Just them like shaking it and then it falling on them.
I mean, they deserve to like, if you're gonna shake a vending machine so violently that it falls on you, it's
Yeah,
your
dude,
fault.
it's a fucking Darwin Award. Do you know what a Darwin Award is?
Yeah, it's stupid ways of dying.
Dude, like that is like, honestly, I would be fine with getting a Darwin Award, but as long as nobody else has gotten it before. Like 4 people getting killed a year by vending machines, only one of them is getting a Darwin Award. I want like the most radical, new, different way to die.
What would that be?
I have no idea. Well, okay, what would be your like ideal way to die?
Like ideal?
Yeah.
Like
alright.
falling through the sky on fire.
Holy shit, that's exactly what I was gonna say. Like a skydiving accident.
No, not even a skydiving accident. I just
Wait, why would you be on fire? I totally just missed the second part of that. I was like, falling through the sky, yeah, wait a second.
No, the on fire part is just because it's funny.
It's funny. Dude, did you know that somebody actually fell out of a plane? Like there was a plane crash.
I think a lot of people have fallen out of
A
planes.
lot of people have fallen out of planes. But
Some do it professionally.
Some do it professionally, yeah. Some people do it for the military. Crazy guys.
I think those are the guys that do it professionally.
I actually know a paratrooper. Well, he's not a paratrooper. He's part of the something airborne, but he's a mechanic for them. And he has to do like paratrooper training where he jumps out of planes and shit. He says it's so much fun. So I want to do that one day.
I'm never skydiving.
You're never skydiving?
No.
That's dude.
Cause
I don't even know if I or you could, like, cause I'm too big.
For me, it's not that I have a fear of heights. I don't really have a fear of anything, but there's like a reasonable like respect for things. So here,
so
listen.
it's not irrational fear. It's very logical fear of fall bad.
Well, yeah, no, but so my thing is when I went hiking, I would come across timber rattlesnakes once in a while. So when I come across it, I wouldn't get scared, but like I'd like as soon as I'd see them, I'd be like, oh crap, back up, just keep my distance, respect it.
Yeah.
And it's like the same way, like when I get to a really tall building, like if I went, like I can get to a tall building, look out the window and stuff, but the idea of like pushing my hands up against the glass and like pushing weight, like just hanging over the edge, or
Have you never done that?
No.
That's one of my favorite things to do. So my brother works in a law office in Boston, and like they have reasonably tall buildings. And one day I went to go visit him, and like he hates that shit. Like he's deathly afraid of heights. Like he never, like I watched him like when we walked into the room, and he was like staying away from the windows and everything, and I would always inch towards them. So like we were talking, and I would like slowly inch towards them and towards them and towards them. Like at some point he stopped, and he was like, "Wait a second, why are you moving closer to the window?" And I was like, "Oh no, nothing." And I just leaned back against it, and you could just hear the creak for a second, and like, you know, rationally I was like, "Oh shit, this is scary," but just to piss him off, I was just like, "Yeah, nice view, huh?"
I think part of it also comes from when doing carpentry, like getting up on scaffolding.
You do carpentry.
Yeah, you know this.
I just moved in, buddy.
Oh, true. You don't know this.
Yeah.
I did carpentry, and you'd have to get up on the scaffolding, and sometimes, you know, you'd be 2-3 stories up on some scaffolding.
Holy shit.
And that's when I think you really learn if you have like a fear of height or if you have a respect for it. Because part of it is when you get up there, it's if you're clinging to like nearest thing and you won't let go of it, then yeah, you have a fear. But if you're somebody that you take slow steps and like you reach down, grab your balance, like hold onto a board or grab a pipe just to get balanced once in a while, that's when I think you just have the respect for it. Like I don't want to go up on the scaffolding, but I can be comfortable there in the right
So
setting.
then I think I personally then have a respect for heights, because like for me, the reason that I was so shocked at like 2 or 3 stories is that like I'm scared of falling. Like I'm not scared of heights, I'm scared of falling. So like within 2 to 3 stories, I'm like, I can break something, I will be in a lot of pain. Anything above like 20 stories, I'm like, oh no, I'll just die. And I'll be like, yeah, I'll have a great time down and I won't feel anything, because when I hit the ground, that's it, I'm gone. That's KO. You know? So I'm like, there's no rational part of my body that's gonna really be scared. It's just the falling's fun, and then there's nothing after that.
Speaking about KO, we completely went off of McGregor.
Oh, for sure. This is a tangential experience.
Yeah, no. But yeah, so going back to McGregor, yeah, he can only fight Masvidal or Khabib, but Khabib has a fight in April with Ferguson, but that fight has failed to happen 4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
So basically, what the idea is, McGregor will step in if one of them falls out of the fight.
Oh, so now we're just praying for Ferguson to get injured, huh?
No, well, I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing McGregor Ferguson. That'd be a good fight too.
Really?
Yeah.
I would just be more interested in Khabib, because I don't know, just the. I want the belt back with McGregor. I want him to have.
Yeah. Personally, I like seeing McGregor in the welterweight division. He looks good.
Is that division up or down from his last division?
It's up.
Up.
So he came into the UFC as a featherweight, and he's a natural lightweight with weight cutting. He's a natural lightweight.
Interesting.
And so he fought in featherweight, and you know he did 4 or 5, maybe 6 fights before he got that title shot with Aldo. Won the belt and immediately went up to lightweight to challenge for the lightweight championship.
Yeah. But
the lightweight champion, I think at the time it was RDA. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce his name. Rafael Dos Anjos. It's hard to pronounce his name.
Yeah.
But at the time he was gonna fight RDA. RDA got injured, so then that's when I believe Nate Diaz stepped in to fight McGregor, and that's when he moved up to welterweight.
Okay.
So if you actually look at McGregor's history of fights in the UFC, he went from featherweight to welterweight, back to lightweight, and now he's back to welterweight. So like he can jump from division to division, no issue. Like obviously,
which is fascinating. I think that shows a lot more like incredible fighter status. Because like for me, I'm pretty new to the UFC, but like I would say that McGregor for me at least is like my. If I had to choose a best fighter of all time, I think I would go with McGregor.
So, I wouldn't say he's the best fighter of all time. I would definitely say he's the best superstar of all time. McGregor,
yeah, for sure. I mean, he's made the most amount of money. He's definitely like when you think of UFC, at least contemporarily, you think of McGregor.
But the thing that you'll learn as you watch McGregor is McGregor's kind of path is, and it works perfectly for him. He's not the type of person to win a championship and then just sit there and go on a 10-fight championship
Yeah, I know.
defense streak.
Yeah,
He wants to keep moving on and doing other things.
Which I don't like that. I understand that it's part of the game. In every game, in every sport, no matter what you do, there's always like cheap ways, or in video gaming, like we call it cheesing, to like defend or keep something that you have, or kind of skirt the rules, loopholes and shit like that.
Yeah.
He very much is just about being the best and proving it to everybody, which doesn't involve cheesing. It doesn't involve,
he'll fight
being a little pussy.
anyone. And because going into his fight with Cerrone, nobody thought that he was going to do too well in it. Like, obviously, a lot of people thought he was still going to win, but they thought that he was going to have a lot more hiccups than he did.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I really I enjoy seeing a quick knockout, but like even I would have appreciated a minute 40 knockout maybe, not a 40-second and not a me getting up to go to get a drink and coming back and being like, gotta watch highlights now.
Here's what I have to say. No matter what people are thinking, the McGregor that fought Cerrone is not the best welterweight McGregor that we're gonna see.
Dude, for sure. Like I told you this sometime, but I when I was watching the fight, I was like, wow, I don't know what it is. I feel like he almost took a break. Like I was watching it, I'm like, wow, he's moving a little bit slower. He's definitely putting in work, and obviously beat the shit out of him. But like,
wait, you mean when he's doing the ground and pound?
No, stand-up game.
Stand-up game?
Yeah, stand-up game.
Well, that's always been McGregor. McGregor, you'd have to watch his fights in real time and all of them throughout them. McGregor is a very technical fighter that's very good at standing striking. And the thing is with McGregor, all of his highlights, the Jose Aldo highlight, the Eddie Alvarez highlight, it's him landing multiple strikes or landing this fluid strikes.
Looking fast, looking lightning quick.
But if you actually watch a lot of his fights, especially like Eddie Alvarez, he's picking him apart. He's picking his moments to strike.
Interesting.
And he's doing this thing where he counters them into the left hand. The interesting thing about with Cerrone is you can tell how technical he is because when you go down into the ground and pound and you'll watch every fighter, like there's things that you're doing to keep control and keep order for yourself. Like obviously you maintain your hips to try to keep them from getting up.
Yeah.
You have some wrist control. But for the most part it's just chaos. Like you're just throwing stuff and trying to land whatever. If you go back and you watch the Cerrone fight, when Cerrone's down on the ground, McGregor's not just throwing strike after strike after strike. He throws 1-2 strikes, takes a second, looks, and is picking his spots where he wants to throw the punches.
Interesting.
But
I think that with a lot of athletes, I feel like the best athletes, or at least the athletes that not even just athletes, but personalities that I admire, especially when it comes to any form of competition, is the people that outside of the arena, boisterous, douchebags, can talk the talk, but then when you get in the arena, can walk the walk and know how to play a game in a technical manner. And I think that, Conor McGregor embodies that. I mean, he's incredibly boisterous, obviously, but then when he gets in the ring, it's not that he gets quiet or anything like that, but he's not going to talk shit in the middle of the ring because he knows okay, this is the time to fight. This is not the time for words. This is when I need to.
Not that he has much time to talk shit.
Yeah, for sure. I think one of my favorite things that actually got me into UFC were those comps online of people being douchebags and calling for a punch in the middle and being yo, come on, bro, hit me, and then just knock the fuck out, dude.
Because I think that's that changed from when I started watching it. The first guy that I saw that really did that talking crap and building up fight, just being the bad guy, was Chael Sonnen. And, a lot of it was just kind of an act, but at the same time, it's his personality. He just likes to talk shit, make jokes, do all that. And I'm starting to see that more and more, with Colby Covington and his whole thing. If you saw Colby...
I love seeing Covington get knocked out. That was a good one.
See...
that entire fight I liked. I liked that entire fight. That was a really good fight recently.
Yeah. Colby and Kamaru, that was... The thing is they were probably the two most equal fighters that you could possibly get.
Mm-hmm.
Same height, same build, same primary discipline. They're both super amazing wrestlers.
Yeah.
They're so good. And, same record. The one guy that Colby lost to, Kamaru beat. The one guy that Kamaru lost to, Colby beat.
Yeah, that's...
they have, almost identical reach. They're as close together as, fighters that you can get that match up. But also at the same time, their personalities are completely different.
Mm.
But also, when you saw the fight, they did the same exact thing, which is they both didn't attempt takedowns. They just stood there and just banged each other, just hit each other with as much as they could. And they went about it in two different approaches. Colby was a lot more just not power strikes, but a lot more just like landing what he can as much as he can. Kamaru was a lot more picking his places, trying to land stronger hits. And that's like eventually like what happened. He knocked Colby in the jaw and broke it. And then eventually at the end he was picking his punches right to knock him down this two times right before he did get TKO'd. But the thing about Colby is if you watch Colby's fights before he started this like new act, he was never like that. He never got onto the mic and like he never was like talking about Trump and all that.
Yeah.
And he kind of just put on this like persona, and he's mentioned it, like he's talked about how like it's kind of an act.
Yeah.
People like Chael Sonnen that are close to him in the business have talked about it. Joe Rogan has talked about it multiple times.
Yeah.
It's not.
You like, to use a wrestling term, like, you know, you gotta kayfabe. You gotta.
Yeah,
kayfabe.
he's a heel.
Yeah, you gotta kayfabe, because like,
Yeah.
life is boring without bad things. Life is boring, especially like when putting on something like you even though it's a competition, and obviously the difference between like WWE and UFC, but like WWE thrives off storylines. It thrives off, you know, caring for characters and, you know, having an enemy. You can't just have everyone be a good guy. And in the UFC, I think that they, whether or not they do it consciously or not, people cultivate good acts and personalities that make people either want to defend them or not defend them. And you know, any publicity is good publicity.
And the funny thing is what's happening in the UFC with John Jones is like something that's happened in pro wrestling over the past couple decades, which is like in professional wrestling now, since everybody knows basically everything about the business, people are like cheering the bad guys in professional wrestling because they know that they're doing a good job at being hated.
Yeah.
So then it's like very weird that these guys are doing like horrible things in professional wrestling. They're getting cheered.
Yeah.
But the same thing like happened with John Jones. John Jones came in as like this persona of being super Christian and being like a good wrestler, very respectful, all that. And then all that stuff started happening. Like he got caught with the picograms in his system. He got caught using cocaine.
Yeah.
He did the hit and run on the pregnant lady. And then he just kind of started...
I'm sorry. What?
You didn't know that?
I didn't know that. I did not know that about John Jones.
That's,
he did what?
I'm pretty sure that's the reason that he got stripped of the title the first time. What happened was...
He had no fucking shit.
He hit a pregnant woman's car, got out, and just ran.
Oh, okay. It sounded so much worse. Like, I imagine that he had hit a pregnant woman.
No, like a hit and run car hit and run.
Okay, so not as bad.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's still bad.
Still bad. Sorry, it's still bad. But...
Yeah, no, and it's funny because there's a cop's video of it where he goes through the abandoned car, and it's like his little shoulder cam, and he's going through like the registration and stuff, and I think they blurred it out, but it's like, hey, I think this is that UFC fighter's car. Like that John Jones, like the champion. They're like, no way. And that's like when you started like watching it and you like realize all that.
Dude, that must have been like the weirdest experience that you get back. It's like, yeah, there was John Jones just hit a pregnant woman.
There's a documentary on Netflix. I think it's called The Fight Business or The Fighting Business, but it follows around a whole bunch of UFC fighters leading up to some of their fights, and one of them is John Jones, and I think it was when he was fighting Rashad Evans.
Yeah.
I think they were following around Rashad Evans too, but I think that's like one of his first couple of fights after that. That whole car hit and run situation, and after the cocaine, like it was one of his first fights back, and they're going through the documentary and they're going through like all the things that he did, all the things and like how he's trying to change himself, and it's following him around. Like he goes to Target to buy like dolls for his daughters.
They're just like us celebrities. Wow, man.
Yeah, no, it's and then if you actually watch it, there's a lot more like darker stuff about the fighting in that.
Interesting.
It follows around this guy. I forget his actual name, but his like nickname in the UFC was the Joker. And basically he'd gotten too many concussions. He's dealing with depression.
Wow.
And it follows him around and how he fixed like a hold on his depression, like he learned how to deal with it. And him taking new fighters through the ropes and like bringing them to Indian reservations for like unsanctioned fighting.
Interesting.
and it follows him around in them, and then it also follows some women fighters. This was happening around when women's fights were starting. It was back when Ronda Rousey was champion. If that tells you how long ago it was.
Yeah, that was a minute ago. I haven't thought about Ronda Rousey in a minute.
Yeah, no, because after the UFC, she just went off to do professional wrestling.
Isn't she also an actor? Am I thinking of somebody else?
Yeah, she acted. She did
Yeah.
a couple of movies. I mean, none of them were good.
I mean, yeah, for sure.
Like,
Dude, but I love a good documentary. Like, I'm definitely gonna watch this documentary later. But like, there are so many documentaries that like I'll watch and I'm just like, wow, I'm super ingrained in whatever the fuck this is talking about now. Like, I'll look up stuff
Yeah.
afterwards and shit like that. One of my favorite documentaries is do you like crime documentaries, like true crime documentaries?
yes and no.
Have you ever
Depends.
seen Making a Murder on
No.
Netflix?
So, can I quickly explain? I did not watch that
Mm-hmm.
because I listened to a podcast series called Serial.
Oh, and they covered that already?
They didn't cover that same story.
Oh, okay.
So the issue is getting into that whole true crime drama. I watched Serial. Serial was a podcast, and the way that they did it, I think, was phenomenal. Because they basically took a case, and it already happened, and they're going back and looking at it.
Yeah.
And it was the whole idea of, from the beginning of the podcast, they didn't present the guy as innocent or guilty. It was them looking at what he got convicted of, and they're looking at, was this possible? Could this have happened? They're looking at the witnesses. What could the witnesses do? And basically, you're trying to formulate your own opinion, like almost as if you were a juror. Because the big idea is, what he got convicted on, it was a murder of his girlfriend, a guy. And he was like 19 or 18. He was like in his senior year of high school.
Yeah.
And he got convicted on phone records and an eyewitness saying that they helped dispose of the body. Now, this was back like...
Whoa.
This was
Interesting.
back in like early 2000 or like 1990s.
Okay.
Somewhere in there. But the phone records basically weren't like GPS locations. They weren't conversations. All it was is saying that his phone was in this range of this cell tower,
Yeah.
and he happened to be in the range of the cell towers that follow how the girl died.
Yeah.
But it all takes place in one town, so it's like 3 cell towers.
Exactly. That's incredibly
So-
circumstantial.
Yeah, so it's like he just happens to be in the same cell range. And like the other thing that you had to look at is like they look at 3 big locations, which is the school where the girl was last seen, the house where the supposed killer lived, and the route that he took to dispose of her dead body, which included going to like this Best Buy in this plaza area.
Yeah.
And so it's not like there was like 10 locations or 20 locations all throughout those 3 cell towers, and he
Yeah.
happened to be in this location, or his phone happened to be in the cell tower the same that the location is, and it
Yeah.
happened 20 times. It happened like 3, maybe 4 times. And that's when it was like, something's fishy here. And then the witness, he's the only witness, and he's the one that says that he helped like dispose of the body, helped bring it out to the woods. I forget if they dug a hole or not, but there was this whole case, and I think eventually he did get a retrial, or they re-looked at his case. I don't know whatever became of it, because
Mhm.
this happened like a few years ago,
Interesting.
so they might have just had a rehearing. And
Well, I mean, typically, if it was death penalty always
no,
gets
it wasn't
sent up
death
the ladder.
penalty.
Oh, okay.
It
Well, you
was-
can always appeal regardless of whether or not it's
Yeah.
death penalty or not to whether or not they broke Constitution.
Yeah, I mean, I'd have to go back and listen to it. It's been like, I listened to it at the beginning of high school, so like,
Yeah. Well, so Making Murder isn't actually my favorite documentary. I just brought it up because it's typically the one that most people see.
Mhm.
My favorite is on HBO. It's called The Jinx.
Mhm.
It is about, I can't even remember his name now, but it was a rather influential member of, I believe, like, he might have just had a lot of money. Fred Durst. So, Fred Durst, essentially...
Why does that name sound so familiar?
Yeah, I have no idea what he's popular or famous for. I can't remember
I
off the
think
top
he's
of
a
my head.
musician.
Oh, so maybe it's Fred Durst's brother.
You
But,
continue. I'm gonna look up who Fred Durst is.
yeah, because
Or Jinx.
I think, yeah, the last name is definitely Durst. I can't remember if it's Fred Durst related to him or something. But he essentially, he just gets arrested at some point for something miscellaneous. But at the time, there was also a murder surrounding the situation. And as he's essentially sitting in jail, people are like, holy shit, this person is actually like influential. This person has money.
The guy's name is Robert Durst.
Robert Durst.
Doesn't have to do with Fred Durst.
No, it doesn't have to do with Fred Durst.
But Fred Durst, I'm pretty sure, is a musician.
Oh.
Yeah, American vocalist. What does he do?
Interesting.
It's like Limp Bizkit or something? Yeah, Limp Bizkit.
Oh, Limp Bizkit.
How did I know that?
That's weird. I don't know. Maybe you like Limp Bizkit. You like Limp Bizkit?
No, I know what it is. I remember. I'm pretty sure I remember. I think he was dating, it was like Britney Spears or another vocalist, and he was in WWE, and like John Cena or something just like attitude adjusted him, like just picked him up and like dropped him in the ring like one night randomly.
Okay, dude.
But it's like
WWE gets some crazy stars, man. Like Donald Trump. Seeing him.
Did you
being
ever
in
get to
WWE
see that
ring-
match?
I didn't see the whole thing. I saw highlights because it's just funny as fuck. It's
Yeah,
really
no,
weird
but
seeing a current
The best
president.
part is you have to know like what the match was about because it makes it even better.
Isn't it like him and Vince McMahon got into some sort of fucking beef about buying the WWE?
Well, the whole no that's a different thing. That happened later on.
Entire different story.
That's a different story.
Might be.
No, so what that match was at WrestleMania, it was called Battle of the Billionaires. It was right when like Vince McMahon became a billionaire. And the whole idea was loser had to have their head shaved. They each got to pick a wrestler to fight, and if their wrestler won, the other one had to shave their head.
Holy shit, that actually sounds like a great concept.
Yeah, and if you've seen WWE, you know a lot of times there's like managers on the side that will like interfere with the matches. So that's like what that famous clip of Donald Trump tackling Vince McMahon is.
Yeah.
It's like something like screwy's happening in the match. Either I forget if it's Vince McMahon doing it or if Trump stopped Vince McMahon from doing it, whatever it was. But that's what the scene is of him tackling him. But then the fight ends, and they lock Vince McMahon up in a barbershop chair. And
I've seen the clip of him getting his head shaved by
yeah,
Donald Trump.
that's what that match is.
Surreal, completely surreal.
No, what you're talking about later on is when Trump was like buying WWE. It was fake. It was just a storyline in WWE.
Yeah, I mean for sure.
But what it was is WWE had recently just turned, I think it was Monday Night Raw, into like 3 hours long, and you have to fill up a lot of time with 3 hours.
Yeah.
But like in the first few weeks, what they had, the idea was is that they sold the business, or like a primary like share of the business, to Donald Trump, and like his first weekend, his whole idea is he just wants to make Vince McMahon go broke. Because
Yeah.
Vince still owned like a portion of the WWE.
Oh.
So then like Trump starts like
What a complicated storyline.
so then
This is
Trump starts
interesting.
like airing like Monday Night Raw without commercials so that they start losing money. And like the funny part is they actually did do a Monday Night Raw where they had no commercials. Like it was real.
Wow.
That's like how in depth it was. And they just went through that, and you know, it ended up with Vince McMahon buying back his portion of the WWE for like twice the price or something. But there's another thing that Vince McMahon did on WWE that was hilarious, and it was hilarious in retrospect, not so much watching it, but it was one of these ploys to get people to watch Monday Night Raw more. He would go out and he was going to give away $1 million
For anybody in the audience.
Well, no, it was going to be throughout the course of weeks.
Oh.
So basically, you could call into like a phone number, and he would answer it live on like the stage, and he would give you an amount of money. Sometimes it was like, oh, you're just some random guy, you get $20,000. Sometimes it's like, oh, you're a mother with a single child, you can have $2. It was stuff like that.
Wow, holy
But
shit.
the best part about how it ended is I think it just like wasn't bringing ratings in or whatever, or they were just tired of actually giving the money away. I don't think they were giving the money away, but if they were, they'd probably get tired of it fast.
Yeah.
But
That's a good way to lose money.
how it all ends, and like there's no like talk about like him giving away the $1 million out of this. He was on the stage, and like the whole stage collapsed and everything falls on him, and it's like him being like super injured, and then it just like kind of like fell apart, and it just never came back, and like it's kind of forgotten about. But I just love the idea of just Vince giving out all this money, and then it just ends with him getting like completely injured by all of the stage, everything falling on him.
Dude, so like WWE is like the best Spanish soap opera in the world, right? It's just so good.
Yeah.
It has
I mean-
some of the greatest and weirdest storylines ever.
The best part is it went from being like basically like if you like WWE, the best thing I could compare it to is if somebody really likes action movies just for the action and a loose storyline.
There are definitely some action movies that I like that.
Yeah, but
Except for Mission
WWE has.
Impossible.
I don't like
Your
Mission
your
Impossible.
distaste
Oh,
for and disdain for Mission Impossible is solely based on the fact that Tom Cruise is a Scientologist.
Yes.
Look past that.
No. So, so anyways, but WWE now is more like almost like one of those action movies. Like it's had so many sequels that at this point there's like not only just all that action, but like a whole bunch of like in jokes. That's why when
So then a great comparison is like what, Fast and the Furious?
Yes, that's like a great comparison.
Love fucking Fast and Furious, man.
Yeah, no, but like WWE is still putting out some really good storylines. They're just putting out a lot of bad ones at the same time.
Okay.
So as opposed to like having like pretty much mostly good storylines and like a couple of like weird ones, over like the past 2 decades it's been pretty boring.
Okay, so you've indoctrinated me into a lot of stuff.
Yes.
I would like to officially indoctrinate you into something.
God.
It's storyline based. They're
What
not
is
good
it?
or funny, but
You're really
it's-
selling this.
yeah, no, for sure. It's called LSF, live stream fails, and so
I think I've seen that.
I am an internet cretin. Okay, I spend a lot of time indoors.
Yeah, I'm
you know.
aware. I tried to show you my meme playlist and you saw all the videos.
I mean, listen, I have a lot of time to sit through memes, especially if they're good. That's a good marker of the fact that your playlist is pretty good. But see, on Twitch, there's a new thing, I guess relatively new. It started in 2018 called Just Chatting. And in Just Chatting, it's like essentially you don't actually have to stream a video game. You can just like record yourself doing nothing.
Oh, dude,
So-
and that's where that clip of that is that meme where the guy's in the grocery store and somebody donates him. His name is "This is a robbery" and he reads it out loud. It's that stuff.
That
right?
is, it was. I don't know if that was Andy Milonakis, but yeah, Andy Milonakis. Do you know who Andy Milonakis
No.
is? So he's a person that used to have a skit, or I think it was on maybe TMZ or maybe
Wait,
it was
is he
Comedy
like
Central.
is he a short like chubby
Short,
kid with
chubby
glasses?
kid.
and
Yeah. Thing is, he's not a kid. He's maybe 46 now. He's
He-
been old his entire life, right?
Yeah.
He just has a baby face and looks like a kid. So like his shtick, especially back when it was like on Comedy Central or whatever, was going around getting into situations where it's like, yeah, I'm just a kid, but like smoking a cigarette outside of a store, going into like a store and buying liquor, but he looks exactly like a 14-year-old. He kept on doing that all throughout when he started streaming on Twitch, and he has some of the best fucking clips like on all of that.
Do you want to know the
stuff.
only reason why I know who he is?
Why?
Because it's that YouTube channel is like BF versus GF. Prank versus prank.
Yeah, prank versus prank. Did
The
they
guy-
break up?
Yeah, that's a different story.
Yeah.
But the guy made a diss track with Andy Milonakis against Rice Gum.
Against, oh my, holy shit! I haven't thought of Rice Gum in so fucking
That's
long.
the only reason that I know who that is.
Wow, dude, remember when Rice Gum used to be funny? Neither do I.
Yeah, I was about to say. I remember
Yeah.
watching like 2 of his videos and I was just like, I'm done.
Dude, how the fuck? I love YouTube and I've always been like a fan of like a lot of YouTubers. I love the transition from Filthy Frank to Joji. I think that he makes fantastic music now. I think that the Pink Omega time was like really good and funny. I think he made some really banger songs, but where he's at now, he's just like an actual pop idol. He's practically a K-pop star now. But like the failure of like people like Logan Paul and KSI and especially like Rice Gum in
Yeah.
trying to like escape the YouTube realm and like trying to make actual shit. An even better like example would be like Lisa Koshy.
Yeah.
Her and like Lele Pons, like complete failures when it came to going to like mainstream. Well, I mean Liza Koshy in a lesser extent, but like
Yeah.
Superwoman, whatever her name was.
Oh yeah.
Her and Lele Pons are just terrible. Like they're just
Yeah.
utter garbage. Like I cannot sit.
Lisa Koshy is
Any-
only good in David Dobrik's vlogs.
Dude, David Dobrik's vlogs, first of all, slap. And
I put them on to you.
no, you didn't.
I didn't?
I've been watching since day one. Since
Oh.
when he moved out with Alex, when he just like packed up and like we're going to LA. I've been watching since day one.
I've been watching since vlog number I think it was 27.
27.
I liked it. I liked vlog 27. I like went back and looked at it. It was 27. That's when I started watching.
Wow, that's incredible. You actually know exactly what the number is.
Well,
do you remember? Wait, do you remember the plot off the top of your head of
No.
number 27?
Because what it is I have a whole bunch of those things where I don't want to be that hipster where I liked it before it was cool.
Yeah.
I still like David Dobrik, and like one of those things was it was Logic. I still like Logic,
Yeah.
but
Wait. See, that's the thing. I feel like with Logic's and David Dobrik's career, like I feel like when they started, they were already popular. Like for
The-
both, I guess, but I didn't follow into
So-
Logic shit until pretty late. With David Dobrik, I was there from the beginning.
Well,
I
David
thought he just
Dobrik-
blew up immediately. Like,
But
I
David
really,
Dobrik was on Vine, and then he moved over to YouTube, and he already had that popular audience from Vine.
Yeah, I didn't come from Vine. I didn't watch any of
Yeah,
his
yeah.
Vines before I started
Neither
watching
did I.
Vines.
But it's that kind of thing where it's like, I think he started on YouTube. Not that whole audience that knew him from Vine went over, but he just naturally grew on YouTube.
Yeah.
And you always think of him as more popular because people go, "Oh, David Dobrik, he's that Vine guy," and you.
I think it's hilarious that people still say he's that Vine guy when he's made
Yeah.
like a million times more dollars.
Yeah. Like I don't think of
YouTube.
him as that Vine guy, but that's
Yeah.
what people refer to him as because he had such a large audience on Vine. Like he had
He's
millions.
that vlog guy. He's the vlog
Yeah.
guy now.
That's-
He's that guy that shows up in Jeff Wittick's videos.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. This
Mhm.
might be hot take right here. I genuinely think that Jeff Wittick is funnier than David Dobrik. Jeff
mean-
Wittick is fucking hilarious.
The
Like-
best way that I can describe David's vlogs, the reason that I think David's vlogs are so good isn't because he's the funniest character or he's the best.
Oh no, for sure.
He's basically like a really good director.
He's like a ringleader.
Yeah.
That's why he never shows up in his videos that often. It's always, him
Yeah.
pointing a camera at, oh shit, Zane is drunk again.
Yeah. But he's like a really good director. Like he knows what to film when, and
Yeah.
he organizes these funny things and he puts these people in funny positions.
Do you think that he edits his own videos now?
David?
Yeah.
He says he still does.
Do you believe that?
Yeah, because I believe it because so I follow a couple of the other people.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times, like, when they do their vlogs in the background, like when they're at David's house,
Yeah.
they'll see him on the computer and he'll just be editing.
Yeah. Oh,
now,
yeah, good point.
to be fair, I haven't kept up with the other people in a while. And by saying a while, I mean like 3 months.
Mhm.
So, like, yeah, in the past 3 months, he could have changed it over. But, like I said, like, I think he's a good director. So I think that's part of, he has to, like, edit them.
So, when are we going to see David Dobrik direct a Marvel film? When's that happening?
Never.
Never. I think that he can make the shift to, like, mainstream and to maybe direct an actual movie.
Yeah, well, no, he's. I'd say that he went mainstream in the sense he's already on that Nickelodeon show, like the.
Wait, he's on a Nickelodeon show?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, isn't it like
he
The
was a
Voice?
judge.
Yeah, it was like
he
The
was the
Voice,
judge.
right? Yeah.
And he's starting to get more jobs like that, and like
I don't see that as mainstream.
he's
I
getting
think
on
it's
late
interesting.
night. He's getting on late night talk shows now.
Yeah. Dude, did you hear that, like, he got canceled? Like, Netflix canned him for a deal. Like, Netflix
Yeah,
is
for
gonna...
sure.
Yeah, he was just gonna do
Which is
essentially his
hysterical, because Netflix will do anything.
Yeah, dude, I've always thought about this. I think that Netflix needs to start doing that. They need to start adopting creators and trying to essentially make YouTube on their own platform. I understand that they have a huge paid service, but they should
Yeah.
start, like... Because I don't even know if you heard about this, but in the realm of Twitch, Twitch had, like, a bunch of mass exodus from, like, streamers. Like, Courage JD moved over to YouTube. Like, more importantly, like, Ninja and Shroud moved over to Mixer. Like,
Yeah.
YouTube needs to, like, either protect their content creators because a couple of, like, the Curiosity, like, creators, like CGP Grey.
Yeah, Curiosity Stream.
Yeah,
CGP
Curiosity
made
Stream.
it.
Yeah, he made it. And then now Curiosity Stream is, like, adopting all of those guys. Like, real life lore,
Yeah.
like, real life engineering. They're just taking them and being like, okay, you're going to start making content exclusively for us. And if that
Yeah.
keeps going, a large portion, I feel like, of YouTube's audience is going to start diminishing and going over to those other platforms.
No, because here's my thing. I feel like, like each month, I feel like I find a new person that I really like on YouTube and subscribe to them that are growing up.
Really?
Like their channels are growing, and then I feel like there's also a channel that just starts to die each month. Like
Which
you can watch it
for a
start
lot
to
of
fall.
channels is good, dude.
Yeah.
Like the moment that I unsubbed from KSI, I was like, holy shit, my inbox is so
Yeah.
clear now. I'm not getting trash in my fucking YouTube subscribe section.
Yeah, because for me, I'm looking at it like also at like a UFC perspective where it's like fighters come in, they do really well, and then they kind of die out, and they're kind of still there.
Yeah.
And they linger there, and then sometimes they leave. Sometimes fighters just leave and they go to other promotions. Like Demetrius Johnson, he was at the top of the flyweights. He was undefeated for so long, lost to Henry Cejudo and went over to Bellator. Like just left.
Yeah.
And like my idea is like with YouTube, like I think YouTube has a lot of issues, but we're gonna keep going.
Well, I mean, I have to go buy marijuana, so.
Okay, we're gonna have to cut that out.
I mean, yeah, you can just bleep it. I'm giving you more jobs.
Now I
than you
actually have to listen to this.
Yeah. You weren't gonna listen to it in the first place.
No. To be
So-
honest with you,
So when Connor inevitably doesn't edit this, what I said when I said marijuana, now you have to bleep it
see, you're
twice.
just adding me more work.
I mean, yeah, I could start cursing now and just make you do a lot of work.
I just have to make a mental note. Not a mental note. I'm making an actual note. Minute 39. Bleep half of this stuff right now.
Well, I mean, I think this is a great segue.
Segue to what?
Segue to the end of this podcast.
Why does it have to end?
What do you mean, why does it have to end? Because all good things come to an end. I think we talked about this once. I think that the best demarcator of like a good show or album, especially an album, is a fantastic outro. If you don't stick the landing, everything you just did was trash.
Dude, the best part is it's gonna take me like a week to edit because I'm just gonna like put it off.
Yeah, of course.
And I'm gonna forget about a bunch of this.
Well, I mean, it's been great being your roommate. You know, think we're gonna do this again next week.
It depends.
It depends. Depends on whether or not you've edited already.
It depends on how long it's gonna take to edit this. If it takes me like 2 weeks, then I'm just not gonna. We're
never gonna do this again.
No, It's not gonna. We're not gonna record another one until this one's edited. Because if there's a back catalog, I'm gonna murder myself.
Well, listen, you have a fuck ton of free time now. So, you know, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, you're doing fucking nothing. You better be editing.
Oh, we didn't tell them our names.
I'm pretty sure we did.
We didn't, but
Well-
don't say them right now, just in case.
You sure?
Yeah, no, that'll be like an Easter egg, just like.
It'll be an Easter egg.
It'll take you like 10 episodes to actually put together what our names are.
Okay. Well, I've been his roommate.
You've been mine, I guess.
All right.
Dude, this is gonna have such a horrible ending and a horrible beginning.
For sure. I mean, that's just how conversations go.